Okay, this is cool. So, as you can see, the name of the stream is 420 subscribers. Nice. Of course, 420 is like the meme number for like smoking, but yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting overall. Um, I'm gonna see if I can do this because now I have a possible strike. Oh, it worked. That's nice. So the link worked because before it kind of blocked it, but but yeah, it's gonna be an interesting turn of events because there was news on possibly John Stewart, the Aaron Pierre, um, being in Manna tomorrow. And one thing people that are against the Snyder, the James DCU would probably say is why put a character from a rated R thing to a PG-13 thing, which fair enough, I guess. It makes sense. I understand why people would be against that, but overall, it doesn't matter that much because kids are just gonna watch it. It's like, oh, this character is awesome. It's awesome. Like, it'd be interesting. And then also like parents that um are not as strict, not as like controlling through the rating system thing. Because when I was little, I used to watch a lot of rated R stuff. Um, but yeah, and rated R is not like completely against the rules to watch through a movie theater because a lot of kids were watching Deadpool, all three Deadpools actually. So overall, it depends on the parents. It depends on the adult that they're watching it with. You know, keeping an eye on what kids watch. You know, but overall, you could say the same thing with like a lot of other movies. You know, because Logan had Wolverine in it, and that was rated R, and that Wolverine actor specifically was in a lot of X-Men movies, so makes sense in my book. I'd say. Sorry for just randomly talking, but sorry. But overall, this is interesting. This is the reason why I'm sharing this is because this is the one thing I kind of agree with. Um, Paramount IMAX CEO is possibly going to work with Paramount, um, putting in some of their movies on IMAX.
exclusive ahead of his Super Bowl is IMAX CEO Rich Gelfond. What makes this Oscars different besides the fact that we have a little bit of a war going on here?
I think there's a lot of diversity of films this year. There's a lot of original IP coming out this year. The list that you went through of movies that IMAX was involved with, including Sinners and One Battle and F1, those are all original movies. You know, every year it seems the trend has been towards sequels and prequels. I think you're seeing that. And clearly for us, some 5 out of the 10 nominees for Best Picture were filmed with IMAX cameras or released in IMAX in some way. And we've never had anything like that. And of Warner's 30 nominations,
by the way, they're not saying
all 30 were
with
with IMAX involved with them. So I think, you know, the public and the people who vote for Academy Awards and the actors really wants to see blockbusters in the best way possible. And, you know, we couldn't have prayed for more.
Well, the stock definitely shows it. I mean, to watch what it has done over the past year, really impressive. It's trading in the 40s now. For so long, it was in that narrow band between $12, $21. I mean, and I'm not even bringing up what happened during COVID, but that's apparently in the rearview mirror, which has got to be great for you guys. But let me talk about the 3 films that we just talked about: what F1, the Leo DiCaprio vehicle, and of course, Sinners.
Sinners, yeah.
There isn't a Marvel superhero in any one of those 3. So do they bring in the amount of revenue that you have seen in the past when it comes to those types of genres?
So for IMAX, it definitely did. So last year, we set a record of $1.28 billion, which was significantly better than 2019. And for this year, we've publicly projected $1.4 billion. And you look at the slate ahead, Liz, this year is The Odyssey, directed by Chris Nolan, filmed completely with IMAX cameras. You've got Dune 3. You have Avengers, which is a superhero movie, obviously. You've got Toy Story 5. You've got Super Mario. You've got Michael. And coming up in a couple weeks right now is a film I don't know if you've heard of, but in a few weeks you will. It's called Project Hail Mary with Ryan Gosling. And it's by the author who wrote The Martian. And we look at our pre-sales, they're tracking extremely high. So we're just going into the blockbuster movie going season this year. And I think it's going to be really strong.
It's a question I hear from a lot of people.
Not mentioning Supergirl, but I'm not sure if this
a lot of Oscars this year. It's a harder choice because, as you say, there's this broad spectrum of different types of films that are out there. I know it's hard to choose, like saying, who's your favorite child, but who do you think has the edge here, Rich?
Well, if you look at the awards that have been granted so far, one battle after another, the DiCaprio movie has gotten a fairly big share of that. Although Sinners really did well at the BAFTAs, and Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler, you know, and then Hamnet, Jesse Buckley has been bandied about. So it is, Liz, like you say, your favorite children. Since we're involved in so many, you know, I'm not going to be in the prediction business.
You don't want to say. I totally get that. You brought up the 30 Warner Brother films that all had an IMAX connection. The massive story that has finally come through is that Paramount Skydance was the winner when it came to buying Warner Brothers Discovery. They have said that they will release 30 films next year. People in the know say that would be really, really difficult, especially considering all of the debt that P-Sky has. How are they going to pay for distribution and marketing? Are you girding for 30 films? I mean, what do you think happens there?
So the industry has changed so much in ways that ordinary people don't see. So for us, 40% of our box office was foreign films. So it's, you know, the denominator in a way, the number of films has gone up so much. Apple did F1, which is nominated for Best Picture. Coming up, Hail Mary is by Amazon. Netflix, including with us, is doing Narnia with Greta Gerwig. So I don't think you could analyze the industry just based on one studio and where it's going. There's an awful lot of content around. In terms of Paramount specifically, I went to see David Ellison, I don't know, a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and he's adamant that he's going to keep doing 30 films. And that's their plan. And We haven't announced them yet, but there are a number of films that we're looking at doing with Paramount. New
Oh,
films
that's really
that aren't
cool.
out there that are very promising. So I think
So
we should take him at his word and see where it goes.
so he said that Paramount David Ellison talked to them about certain movies that he's not saying, he's keeping a secret, obviously because of the business. It is interesting.
He is a filmmaker. Mission Impossible. He has such passion for big, kind of dramatic, explosive films and on so many levels. So you're a believer there. But did it surprise you that Ted Sarandos and company didn't go for one last round in bidding after it was decided that the P Sky offer was quality?
I was surprised because, I mean, they certainly look very serious. And as I said, we're doing a project with them. So I saw it from the front row. I met with him. They seem very much all in. So I
Oh,
thought
so
it would have
Netflix
gone at
is
least
doing
another
an
round.
IMAX
But,
thing.
there are obviously a lot of factors like regulatory approvals and, foreign approvals and all sorts of things that you and I weren't privy to. So I think their analysis ultimately was that it didn't make sense to stay in. Also, their stock had gone down, as
Oh
you
yeah,
know, a
the
fair
stock
amount
was looking
since
at,
the bid.
I
And,
guess it has
I
to,
haven't talked to them about it, but I imagine that factored into their thinking.
Rich, as we head to the next season of films coming out, dare we say, because you said that the revenue that came in was better than 2019, which is sort of pre-COVID. That was always that sort of benchmark. Is that over? Are people back in the theaters? Because there are those who say they come in and there are a lot of empty seats and there still needs to be a better experience.
Well, I think we have to say for this year, Liz, the slate is so good. It's better than last year's. But other than Avatar, which was the first one, and
Yeah.
Hoppers, as you said, I didn't know. I didn't realize it was a beaver that the conscious. I learned something. But
I'm full of really useless information.
we're on the verge of the big movies opening up right now, and we'll know soon. But I'm certainly very optimistic about this year. I think people are going to want to see them. Going to the movies is still a really good cultural experience. Even
This is an
horror
IMAX
has
CEO, by the
broken
way.
out, as you know, a lot more movies. People like to see that with their friends and communal audiences. So I remain bullish.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
went to see Marty Supreme in an iPic, and iPic is struggling too. Any chance there would be you picking up any of the iPic theaters?
No, we're quite comfortable with our footprint. You were close with the I, but you should have had the max. You got the wrong second half.
It's good to see you, Rich.
Great to see you.
A good look at the Oscars. We will watch.
Thanks.
War in.
Oh yeah, that's all. That's all it was. Yeah, that's just interesting. Interesting. That's the one main thing I liked that Paramount did is he talked to IMAX CEO about IMAX movies. He said like like a couple weeks ago or something, which means it was during the time he was trying to get Warner Brothers, which makes me think that they're trying to do the IMAX stuff, and then after their movies go to IMAX, they expand upon it later on if they see IMAX as successful for them. So there is a good vision for Paramount right now. I, I like to just see the positives on things, and yeah, this it this just seems smart for them. I'm gonna go to okay, I'm gonna just go to here. So I'm gonna go here and see possibilities of all this whole situation right here. So I'm gonna go to Paramount Pictures. Yeah, Paramount Pictures. That's the movie stuff. Of course, Top Gun Maverick, Sonic, Transformers, stuff like that. I'm gonna. These are good. So Mission Impossible franchise. Smile. They did Smile 1 and 2. Top Gun. Yeah. So this is the okay, and then I'm gonna go to TV Land. Is their classic stuff, which classic sitcom stuff, which is a pretty cool thing because for Warner Brothers they have Friends, and that's their like big thing, and also they have Big Bang Theory, which makes it interesting because that makes it so it's big because Big Bang Theory is technically shorter than is shared with Paramount. The reason I'm going here is because Monster High is like a movie franchise too, somewhat, and then Transformers, SpongeBob has some movies too. But overall, this is pretty good. Number one, Nick is the top entertainment brand for kids. So yeah, Nick Brand Group is available in so HH. So probably like globally, Nick has been the top rated ad supported basic cable network for 28 consecutive years. Yeah. So top rated everything. So that this is how they'll kind of flex. So but this is the website for Nickelodeon stuff. And of course they have Nick Jr., which oh, they have Nick Jr. So right here, which makes me because Warner Brothers only has Cartoonito, and Pluto TV has the free thing, which makes it more of an interesting thing because Pluto TV doesn't really need to change their name because it's not like Paramount thing. So it'd be like Pluto TV would be possible win. And let's see this right here. And is the home of seriously good entertainment with over best comedy. Oh, 10 seems like reality stuff. Master Chef. And comedy and drama. So it's Australian shows, yeah. So five. What is five? UK. So five is the English one. Winner of 2 prestigious BAFTA awards. Nanny and Black Child. Okay. So yeah, I'm just doing this to kind of show how Paramount would do stuff and pop would be pop culture. For the modern grown up. Oh, this is that show, right? Schitt's Creek. Oh, Schitt's Creek. That's the black. Oh, Big Brother After Dark. Oh, they have the Big Brother stuff. Beverly Hills, ER, Gilmore Girls. Yeah, so that this has the other shows. So Home of the Modern Grown Up. So this is not 18 to 20 something. So it's like the early grown up people. MTV. So they have the RuPaul Drag Race. So they have the drag stuff. It'll be the left leaning people right there. So Paramount's not fully right wing. Of course, they have right wing, but like they're not fully right wing. Like TMC, TM, CMT would obviously be the icon flagship entertainment brand in India. So Indian, so this is their Indian stuff. So colors is their Indian stuff, which is a really good thing that like Paramount has actual like brands specifically for countries because Warner Brothers they have pro- program projects that um are like certain country based things, but they have it as the which is this is makes it a little interesting. This is their animation stuff. This is their Skydance animation, which is different from Nickelodeon. Yeah. So it this is how it is, and I know Lucky wasn't that great, but yeah. So they have that Comedy Central. They have South Park, obviously. This go ahead, yeah. So oh, that too on Instagram message. Oh, that's cool. But right now we're just looking at what Paramount is doing and what yeah no the Aaron Pierre okay. Yes uh, more confirmation. So I replied again. I said yes, but this is more confirmation. And so I I did reply. Okay, I'm gonna stop screen sharing. I'm gonna now screen share this one right here. So of course he's talking about the change of composer, which That's completely fine. It's I believe Craig Gillespie said he didn't like what Junkie XL did to the music. So he probably, this is only speculation. I'm only assuming this is the case. He probably kicked him out and wanted a different composer because there was information that he didn't like him. And of course, that posted Dark Side. And yes, that's just an old picture that he just reposted. So I'm just gonna go here and go to this one right here.
New
Joining me now in a Fox Business exclusive ahead of his Super Bowl is IMAX CEO Rich Gelfond. What makes this Oscars different besides the fact
In the beginning,
that
but
we have a little bit of
you
a war
probably
going on here?
didn't watch this.
I think there's a lot of diversity of films this year. There's a lot
The
Oh,
Leo
the stock went up.
Let me talk
Stock
about
went
the
up.
three
It's going up
films
for
that we just talked
IMAX.
about. What F1
of 28 billion.
that has finally come through is that Paramount Skydance was the winner when it came
Oh yeah,
to
this
buying
is
Warner Brothers Discovery.
yeah,
They have said that they will release
over
30 films next year. People in the know say
30
that would be
films.
really, really difficult, especially considering all of the debt that P-Sky has. How are they going to pay for distribution and marketing? Are you girding for 30 films? I mean, what do you think happens there?
I was gonna say his
Um,
perspective.
So the industry has changed so much in ways that ordinary people don't see. So for us, 40% of our box office was
Yeah.
foreign films. So it's, you know, yeah, the denominator in a way, the number of films has gone up so much. Apple did F1, which is nominated for Best Picture. Coming up, Hail Mary is by Amazon. Netflix, including with us, is doing Narnia with Greta Gerwig. So I don't think you could analyze the industry just based on one studio and where it's going. There's an awful lot of content around. In terms of
Any
Paramount
same perspective.
specifically, I went to see David Ellison, I don't know, a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and he's
Yeah, so
adamant
they met.
that he's going to keep doing.
So they met. So David Ellison did meet with the IMAX CEO, which that's a really good sign. And very recently too. So that means he met the IMAX CEO when he was planning to get Warner Brothers. So he has a plan overall. And some people at Warner Brothers not really liking what David Ellison said in that meeting. Completely understandable. There's things that people disagree with and all that stuff. That's completely
Doing
fine.
30 films, and that's their plan. And we haven't announced them yet, but there are a number of films that we're looking at doing with Paramount, new films that aren't out there that are very promising. So I think we.
So unannounced Paramount movies that they're planning on doing IMAX with. And if they're planning on shooting it right now, they're probably shooting it on IMAX camera.
We should take him at his word and see where it goes.
He
Yeah.
is a filmmaker, Mission Impossible. He has such passion for big kind of dramatic.
Yeah, like everyone's saying that. Everyone's saying he really loves movies. He originally wanted to be a big actor, but failed at that. But acting and being a corporate person is two completely different type of jobs. He tried one thing and then saw that he wasn't good at that, so he tried another thing. So that's
Explosive films and on so many levels. So you're a believer there, but did it surprise you that Ted Sarandos and company didn't go for one last round in bidding after it was decided that the P-Sky offer was quality?
I was surprised because,
yeah,
I mean, they
obviously,
certainly look very
it's a big
serious. And
surprise.
as I said, we're doing a project with them. So I saw it from the
Oh, so
front
they're
row.
doing a project with them. So that means Netflix is doing a movie, IMAX movie with them. for theaters. So it is a good thing, I guess they're doing that. But again, they promised something, so they're
Well, I
attempting
met with
something.
him. They seem very much all in. So I thought it would have gone at least another round. But, there are obviously a lot of factors like regulatory approvals and,
Mhm.
foreign approvals and all sorts of things
Yeah, a
that
lot
you and
of
I weren't
rules.
privy to. So I think their analysis ultimately was that it was, it didn't make sense to stay in. Also, their stock had gone down,
Yeah,
as
the
you know, a
stock
fair
is probably
amount since the bid. And,
oh,
I
yeah.
haven't talked to them
That's
about it, but I imagine that factored into their thinking.
Rich, as we head to the next season of films coming out, dare we say, because you said that the revenue that
so that's how it is, and I'm gonna actually share this one. This makes it a little interesting for the gaming aspect because there was news that Paramount um, kind of wanted to sell their Warner WB Games stuff, but David Ellison started Skydance, and this is Skydance Gaming Games, which is a brand for them, and they do Behemoth, Skydance, yes, Saints and Sins. Oh, there's a Walking Dead game, which is probably like a collaboration thing for them because Walking Dead I think is AMC, and see another Walking Dead as a sequel for that, and Archangel, and I believe it might Walking Dead might be part of this because this is when Skydance was independent before Skydance bought Paramount. They probably did the Walking Dead stuff, but yeah, I'm only pointing this out because there was that news about them sell not really wanting to do WB games, which this shows they have some interest in games versus Netflix. Their gaming thing, they sort of gave up on that, so that's why I'm pointing that out. But overall, I'm gonna click on this stuff, shape the future. Okay, this is their branding stuff. So Pluto TV's right there. So through this live stream, I was pointing these things out, and so this makes it interesting for here Smithsonian because they have Discovery. They would be getting Discovery, so this is kind of their kind of Discovery Channel kind of thing, Smithsonian. So I'm wondering if they're going to combine those two. So yeah, and looking at Paramount. So I'm going to add that to the name. I'm going to remove this just to, you know, there you go. And so yeah, this is kind of an interesting thing. And Showtime, the reason I'm showing this is because Showtime is their version of HBO. So Showtime produces scripted hits and critical acclaim nonfiction. So nonfiction and scripted hits, film, which Paramount Plus Premium, the service cornerstone. So so it says also it's exclusive to the premium version of Paramount Plus. So they have Yellow Jacket, Billions. So yeah, that's kind of how that works. And Pluto TV is their free account thing. So here is how that will work. So they have Hallmark movies because Pluto TV is like a thing that license stuff too. They get licensed stuff also and all that stuff. And BET, this is one thing that would benefit for Warner Brothers because they have movies and stuff that gear towards African Americans and Black, but this is very specific. So this is going to be a good benefit on both sides, I guess. So Skydance Bill Sports. This is their thing where they have movies that they did for the sports things. For Skydance is a Roku original, so they have Apple TV stuff, Roku stuff, Netflix stuff. So they're not they're like widespread, kind of like how Universal does that. They license their stuff to other streamers too. Yeah. So that's kind of how that works. And this is CBS, and this is their. This is pretty fun, somewhat. Um, 60 Minutes. This is the one show that got them in trouble with Trump. And Trump got mad, and they had to like do something to apologize and stuff and all that stuff. So that's that. So Warner Bros. Gonna this. So WBD. And here is Warner Brothers thing. Our our company, this is that right here. This is where the uh, the shareholder meetings happen. There's a spotlight right here. So they're spotlighting these two, Superman and Peacemaker, which is pretty cool. Um sorry. That that was clickable. So our brands, so this is Warner Brothers stuff. HGTV, that's for home design thing. DC, and they updated the logo right there because originally this website had the old logo. They still have Warner Bros. And animation and stuff. Boomerang. They still promote the stuff, but um that's my issue of Warner Bros. Right now, that they sort of get rid of stuff on HBO Max, but New Line is still there. So that so that's how all this happens. Yeah. Most of these, but this is this is more cleaner because each thing has their own link to their respective things. So that's the one thing I like through this website for Warner Bros. Discovery thing. Uh, this is the one thing I hope Paramount gets from Warner Brothers. Their website design and everything. HBO Max is a lot smoother than Paramount Plus. I have both because I want to watch things I want to watch. I'm not gonna hold back just because I disagree with something. See, this is Cartoonito right there. Streaming Cartoon Network on Max. See, like this is the thing right here. See, it doesn't go to the website of Cartoonito. It doesn't go to Cartoon Network, Quest Red. What's that? Okay, Discovery. Yeah, see, this goes to Discovery Plus. So this is the one thing I don't like. Everything else is cool because it goes to each of their respective things. See, goes to their Instagram specifically, whatever brand I'm clicking on. But whenever I go to website, it just goes to whatever streamer that has that brand. That's the one thing I don't like. But overall, that's how it goes. But yeah. Sorry about rambling. I just wanted to just explain stuff and all that. And yeah. So yeah, this is gonna be pretty cool. So comment whatever. Um, chat. I'll be back. So no one said anything yet. It says there's one person. I don't know. Yeah, so I'm just gonna quick get some food to eat. So yeah. So yeah, here it is. Sorry about that. I had to quick get some food to eat. Yeah. So what I was saying is this: there's some benefit, like advantages and disadvantages of this. What's interesting is this doesn't have. Wait, hold on. Oh, WB Games right there. So yeah, this is WB Games. So this is their mobile stuff. So the website of WB Games is definitely better than they showed Skydance Games, because it looks sort of like Steam, sort of. So actually, hold on, gonna some that. I just realized it just went to that, so I'm gonna this. Yeah, I'm kind of just getting used to this. So this is WB Games, and to me, I think WB Games website thing is definitely better than what I showed you with Skydance Games. But it is interesting that Skydance does have Paramount Skydance has a gaming thing. The one thing I'm worried about is Paramount Skydance hasn't released anything recently with that. But WB Games would probably help if they're interested in gaming at all anymore, because weird news says that Paramount doesn't really care about the gaming thing. They're gonna sell it off and license it, kind of like what they do with SpongeBob, which I'm okay with too if it ends up becoming successful with that licensing situation. So that's what I am sort of worried about with that aspect. But yeah, I'm actually curious about all the stuff. But I'm gonna check on something real quick. Regulation. Okay. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. But overall, I feel that this will be good for the company. Overall, I'm just more hopeful. It's bad to be negative about everything. Oh, Warner Bros. Is ruined and all that stuff. That's kind of a toxic mindset to me. I just really want good things to happen. Uh, Gunn is desperate. Oh, okay. Here's another like dumb thing. This is so friggin' dumb. So this pedophile says James Gunn is desperate just because he's adding a Green Lantern to a DC movie. It's I don't understand how this is desperate. Like how is this desperate at all? This is literally just adding something that makes sense. Like how is this desperate? I don't get it. I don't know. I'm gonna do trying to rename the stream, see if I can. Okay, I'm gonna just do that. See if that really helps. But that so this is oh, okay. I would say skin type, but CGI makes it easier for actors to actually try out for the character because that's the one thing that Mark Wahlberg says he doesn't want to do superhero movies because of the fact that they have to wear um, skin tight tights. So that's the one thing I would say the benefit of CGI. But yeah, so yeah, that's my perspective of it. I just uh, the CGI helps the whole casting aspect, but the physical suit makes it more realistic and stuff. But overall, physical suit I think is better. I think that's why they make the suit in the Green Lantern show not really completely skin tight because I think makes it easier to cast people because I know a lot of situations behind the scenes they say, oh, it was too tight, so it was hard to get out of, or it was so uncomfortable. We had to remove the suit sometimes and everything like that. So it is yeah. If you're gonna give air. Oh, Aaron Pierre, for that. I would I'll be okay with I really like the skin tight thing, but I'll be okay with not skin tight or and not very loose, not like Superman one, but a uniform looking one, kind of like we saw in the teaser, not completely. Kind of like what's a good example? Like the Batman. I think that's a good example. The Batman is clearly not like completely skin tight and like kind of a uniform looking thing, like the Batman Matt Reeves Batman thing is very like that that'd be a good explanation what I'm trying to say. Something that looks good, that doesn't look way too loose and still comfortable to wear. So that's I don't know. Uh, yeah, yeah. I'm just eating right now. I don't know how else I'll get more people in because just one person really is kind of I don't know. But it's already been close to an hour, so that's pretty good. I sort of avoid now watching these
composer.
so I kind of avoid watching the Snyder Code things now because they kind of say the same things over and over and all that. So Film Junkie's a little more neutral. So he was really into the Snyderverse stuff and all that stuff, but he is fine with both sides. So here,
Speaking of Supergirl, what's going on with the Supergirl composer? We're on a third one now. What's up with the DCU news being so scarce this week? Jace, right? Come on, Jimmy Guns, what are you doing? Man, you're trying to avoid Davey Ellison? Is that what's happening? You're just out on location, not showing up to the Saturn Awards. You just have your wife accept it. Jace, what's wrong with you? Just kidding. I'm kidding, guys. I'm absolutely kidding when it comes to that because I'm like, no, I mean, the whole thing when it comes to a lot of that.
So he knows that people kind of overreacted and all that stuff. That is pretty fun.
That stuff. And I think, it's kind of funny because over the weekend when it came to certain things, I mean, I had somebody in my mentions that talked about how James Gunn is chronically online, and I went, not chronically. He's not chronically online. We are, not him. I mean, he'll get online and then start answering questions, and sometimes he doesn't need to answer certain questions, like if Robert Pattinson's going to join the DCU. We don't need that to be answered ever again. But of course, a lot of things are up in the air when it comes to a lot of things. When it comes to the DCU, when it comes to DC Studios and Paramount, Skydance owning and everything. So yeah, I've seen a lot of weird stuff. And of course, the normal grifters are grifting and doing their things and stuff like that because, we got Zach posting things. Obviously, there's nothing to it more than just Zach like posting images on his Instagram, basically going like, hey guys, next week is the 5-year anniversary of Zack Snyder's Justice League. That's all it is. I don't know what needs to be more, what needs more clarification than that. But of course, there's going to be like the chronically online fans that are on Twitter that are going to do that. And then of course, the YouTubers that are grifting those fans are going to try to capitalize on such things and push narratives and whatnot. So, but I could assure you that I don't know why these guys are trying to think that Zach was in like heavy conversations. First, he was in heavy conversations with Netflix to restore the Snyderverse, then the Saudis with Christopher Nolan, and now it's just with Paramount, who are backed a little bit by the Saudis. I don't know. It's all pretty crazy. But hey, let's
Yeah, so he keeps track of the whole that's funny. He keeps track of everything about the whole Snyder stuff. I'm kind of surprised how much he knows about it. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Hold on. Second. Oh, sorry about that. I had to look around. Oh, right there. Surprised how long it took me to find this, but yeah, I'm getting this. Getting some energy. Yeah.
let's see what was happening when it came to DCU stuff. So James Gunn did, thank people for, thanks so much to the Saturn Awards and the fans honoring Peacemaker with the award, and Freddie and Saul Rodriguez for accepting the award, and especially Jennifer Holland, his beautiful wife, who gave that speech and got emotional and everything like that. We already showed that, which, was good. I mean, again, when people like throw shade at her and the fact that he puts her in things, and it's like, come on, guys, can we not do that? And then, of course, he did the happy anniversary to the main man himself. Lobo didn't just enter the comic scene, he exploded into it with his first appearance in the Omega Man #3, written by Roger Slifer, with pencils by Keith Giffen and inks by Mike DiCarlo. See Jason Momoa become Lobo in Supergirl on June 26th. Why did you use that image? Come on, man. You had clearer images, but I mean, I guess because there's just something, I don't know, mysterious about that. You can't fully see it. You got the cigar right there that's lit up. Maybe that was part of it. I don't know. And then he posted this right here. Today is the engineer's anniversary. This is a shot of Gabby and her body double on the set of Superman to celebrate. So, stunt double right there. Cool stuff. Speaking of Supergirl, what's going on with the Supergirl composer? We're on a third one now. Raymond Djawadi, who I guess did some Game of Thrones stuff and then did some other cool stuff, which a lot of people are like, oh, that's actually a good get, was originally attached to Supergirl to compose a score and everything. And a lot of people got behind that. I was like, okay, I'm not familiar with the name, but I see his work. And I'm like, okay, seems like somebody that could do a pretty good job when it comes to the Supergirl movie. But then he dropped out. And then all of a sudden we get announced that Junkie XL, Tom Hulkenberg. That's right. He gets announced. And I go, come on. Love this guy. Love what he does. We're going to hear some freaking drums in that and some electric guitar because, I mean, he's come up with some
Yeah,
good shit, you know, when it comes.
So you're getting styles that you kind of recognize everything. So that's the main thing I kind of like, that this new composer is a composer that people don't really know that much, and it's a female composer, which adds on to the whole Supergirl writer and then composer. The only thing that's not female is the director, but the director has experience of directing female leads in movies.
See what he did with Zach, BVS, the Wonder Woman theme.
Yeah.
Come on, those drums are his, like I've always said. And then when it came to, of course, like Mad Max and working with George Miller, so I was like, okay, this could work for Supergirl. But then all of a sudden, no, that's not happening anymore either. Claudia Sorn, who did The Book of Eli and End of Watch, hey, that's a David Ayer movie, has replaced Tom Hulkenberg, Junkie XL, as composer of Supergirl. Sorn becomes the film's third composer after Hulkenberg previously replaced Raymond Djawadi. Yeah, so like before we saw something right here too, and then it showed like showed something like where it said like it was Tom Hulkenberg, and then yeah, Junkie XL, and now it says music supervisor Susan Jacobs and composer Claudia Sorn. That's because Junkie XL didn't want to do that mess, right? You know, he worked with Zach, so he wouldn't want to work with James because Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah. Saw a lot of that when it came to the reaction to this, of course.
Yeah.
But then I also saw a lot of people who do not like Junkie XL too. You know, again, I don't try to be trapped in a bubble of certain things. My algorithm.
Yeah. So that's good. Like he doesn't want to be very, very biased and stuff like that. So yeah.
You know, again, I don't try to be trapped in a bubble of certain things. My algorithm is kind of all over the place. So I do see like the mixed bag of a lot of things. Even when Junkie XL was announced and I was excited for it, I got people that were not excited for it, and I saw even people say they weren't excited for it. But it's not going to change my opinion. Opinions are opinions. They're not, you know, it's subjective. It's not objective. Obviously, if you live in a bubble, you think things are objective. Of course, my opinion is what people should be thinking. I don't know. That's what fandom is nowadays, of course. But yeah, it is kind of interesting that it's like, oh, now we're getting a third one. I mean, it happens with these big movies, you know. I remember Matt, what's his nuts, who came on. I mean, obviously, like Rogue One was like a big kind of like, oh yeah, they brought in another director, they brought in another score, you know. Does it always work? No, but at the same time, it's still not coming out till June, so we still got, you know, 3 months or so, and it's like, okay. But at the same time, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Was Junkie XL really on board? I mean, like I said, we don't know certain things, and maybe things didn't work out. And maybe we were like, oh, I don't like what this kind of style. Craig Gillespie, obviously the director, didn't quite like what Tom was doing. And a lot of people are even saying that Tom Hulkenberg, you know, they one of the reasons why they don't like him because he embraces AI as a tool, which, you know, some people, when you hear those two letters, they do not like that. And anybody's associated with that. So, yeah, I don't know if that, you know, that's why a lot of people are like throwing some hate at Tom, but I don't know. But, and maybe that was something. And then they're like, oh, let's get a female, you know, composer. We have a male director, Supergirl. Maybe we should try to, you know, put some female energy into this. I don't know. I just give me something cool. You know, I'm already excited for the movie, excited to see that trailer that supposedly is going to be coming out next month. And that's not the only trailer that is rumored to come out next month. No. We have to remember that, yes, a Clayface movie is also supposed to be coming out this year, and we should be getting some kind of trailer for it. So there is a rumor from a certain scooper out there. I haven't even seen it out there. I don't know that, you know, that possibly there could be a Clayface teaser that shows up next month, possibly May. I mean, it would be kind of interesting if we get both a Supergirl full trailer and a Clayface teaser in the same month.
Yeah,
that would be pretty interesting. I mean, I am so fucking curious to see what this Clayface movie is going to look like. I just want to get something. Just get something.
Yeah.
Something. Show me a little bit of that mud. Show me that muddy up. You know, the sound effects when it came to the Clayface episode. Oh man, there's so many times where like, oh, it sounds so gross. And I'm just like wondering, are we going to get some of those kind of sound effects when it comes to Clayface? I mean, this is Mike Flanagan. Of course, it's not him directing, which was like kind of a bit of a letdown, but it's the dude, I can't remember his name right now, but who did the Speak No Evil remake, which I actually really enjoyed. So I do have faith. And I think like having a low budget tapping into that horror genre for DC Studios, having a low budget is actually going to be beneficial unless it just completely
that
flops.
42 million.
But yeah, it's all kind of interesting when it comes to things for sure. And I'm trying to look and see if there's anything else besides that. Oh yeah, there is this too, of course, because you know, hey, we love it when returning characters come back for sequels and everything. Well, we have definitely a returning character that is coming back for Man of Tomorrow, and that's the building for the Daily Planet.
Yes, they got the tax stuff.
The building for the Daily Planet is returning for Avengers Doomsday. Huh? No, that's not the tagline, but yes, James Gunn, this is why, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit too, but back home at the Daily Planet for a tech scout. So he's scouting locations, and then of course, they're going to definitely bring back this location. It will look like itself soon enough. Yeah, a lot of people were kind of wondering because there was a report that David Ellison did meet with Peter Safran and other Warner Brothers execs like Pam Abdi, Michael DeLuca, stuff like that. Where it was like, oh yeah, they had a meeting, but James Gunn wasn't there. And of course, people are like, yep, he's out. James Gunn's out. It's like, no, he's. I mean, I would not even be surprised if James Gunn probably doesn't even like the guy. But at the same time, I just kind of go like, this was part of the deal when it came to DC Studios.
Yeah, he was
part of the deal. Peter Safran was going to handle this part of it, the meetings, the money, the financial stuff, all the stuff, while James Gunn was handling the creative
fans don't
side.
understand that.
And James Gunn is he's got a Superman sequel coming out. So naturally he's in pre-production and he's scouting locations and doing
location scouting,
doing the creative thing. While Peter Safran is meeting with
they're probably
the new guy, depending on if it fully goes through, because still that is up in the air. Yeah. That's still up in the air, but we'll see. But yeah, that was
finding the color grading, all that stuff, and all that stuff.
Supergirl composer, Clayface trailer rumor, and then of course James Gunn scouting locations. But yeah, there you go, guys. That's what's happening, and let me know your thoughts down below when it comes to all this. All right, let me know.
Okay, this is another thing that has nothing to do with the whole thing we're talking about, but this is a interesting thing nonetheless.
What's going on, everybody? My name's Hunter. Ladies and gentlemen, we got some exciting news from the Xbox team proper. As you can see, the headlines read, Xbox teases some iconic games from the past to be re-released in 2026 after its games preservation team spent years working very hard in the background. Now you might be asking me, hey Blitz, Why should I be excited about this news? Well, the reason why it's exciting is because there are a lot of games, like, for example, the Transformers games, a lot of the Marvel games that we've previously all loved to play, like a lot of the X-Men Legends games or Spider-Man games that you might have played growing up, that are now unavailable or are exorbitantly expensive to purchase. Being able to go ahead and make them available again for purchase would be incredibly cool. If there was a way to go ahead and buy, let's say, Spider-Man Web of Shadows for like 10 or 15 bucks, I think a lot of people would definitely do that in order to replay the game. Now, with that being said, this whole rumor has been going around for around, like, I think around 2 years now, or maybe even longer than that. But essentially, right around the time when Microsoft purchased Activision is when all of this started up, just because Activision was the publisher of a lot of those games that people love. But because that, naturally, people are like, oh, okay, so now that Microsoft bought Activision, there's a chance that we will see some of these games re-released and become available for purchase again, maybe just as part of Game Pass. Now, of course, as of right now, that has not happened. However, the difference this time around is that this time we don't have rumors from just leakers or general people who comment on games. Instead, this is coming from the actual team. This is the VP of Next Gen Gaming, Jason Ronald, who did an interview at the Game Developers Conference where he said, and I quote, "The game preservation team has been working very hard in the background for a number of years." He then later on expanded, saying, as part of our 25th anniversary later this year, they will release some iconic games from the past that are now going to be able to be played in entirely new ways. This shows our commitment to game preservation and enabling these games to be played by the next generation of players in ways that are very familiar to them. So yes, this time around, it's an outright confirmation from someone who's working at Xbox to say that later on this year, for the 25th anniversary, we will see games being re-released and become available as part of this new games preservation program. And it's something that they've clearly worked on for years, which then lines up very well with all those rumors that have started up a couple of years ago of people saying, hey, Xbox is working on trying to make these games backwards compatible or bring them back and make them available for modern consoles. So all of that now lines up. You have an official source confirming that. Now, as far as when will this be happening? Well, the Xbox anniversary will be on November 15th. That is when it originally released, was back in 2001. November 15th was the release date of the original Xbox. So if we use logic here, I assume that somewhere around November, they will probably have a big anniversary showcase. And as part of that showcase, we will get to see these games being released. But here's the thing that sets this whole thing over the top for me, is the fact that it seems like a lot of people missed out on the second part of Jason Ronald's quote, because he said the following: not only do we want to preserve those games, but we also want to take advantage of the latest technology to enable them to be played in entirely new ways. I think about features like auto HDR as an example. Being able to put HDR on top of a game that was created before HDR even existed, it feels entirely new. It feels very fresh. I think about features like FPS boost or frames per second boost, where we take games that were originally designed to run at a certain.
So it is cool that's happening. See, like bringing older games for other people to try for the first time, or to play again for nostalgia purposes, or like to play it to go back to see what they liked about it, or if they didn't like the game, see what's going on through that. It is kind of cool, and I'm gonna see this one too. Hold on. Okay, dismiss. Okay, I'm gonna.
Let's say the store was burning and I needed to pick 3 movies. Then I would definitely pick Kung Fu Hustle is the most perfect film ever made. I thought this was the John Cassavetes movie, and then I was very disappointed. She's a really talented director. I really like her. Did you put the shitty movies over here? We got Chris Pratt. He's an idiot. Oh, it's Comedies US. I see. Wow. Paddington 2 is a classic film. It's one of the greatest movies ever made. Oh my gosh, Brotherhood of the Wolf. This is great. Oh my gosh, this is, wow. Yeah. What you call it? New generation? Yeah. Oh, that's horrible. Why did your country do this to us?
Yeah.
Welcome to GM Video.
Thank you.
This is actually one of the 2 last video stores in Paris.
Wow.
And just before we talk about the film you have chosen, I'd like to ask you, what is your relationship with those kind of places in the US and more globally with the physical edition of films such as DVDs and Blu-rays?
Well, first of all, my childhood was spent, in movie theaters, but also in the video stores. So these are the best memories that I have, really, were the promise of seeing a good movie and the hours spent agonizing over what film to choose in a video store was fun, or arguing with your friends or your girlfriends or whatever. Yeah. And I still love my physical media, my Blu-rays and my DVDs, and you have much greater control over the way the picture is viewed. So if you get a Blu-ray of one of my movies, we've looked carefully at the color and everything about the movie, and in streaming, you know less what you're going to get.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe we can start just behind you, because there is the action section, and I know you like a lot of movies.
I like Asian film, not only Asian action films, but Asian films in general. So, when I, started, coming of age, I guess, in my teens, I fell in love, especially initially with Hong Kong action cinema. They were able to shoot action in a way that wasn't being done in the US, not until after Matrix or anywhere else in the world. And they were able to tell stories that were just crazier. There was no rules. And I loved that. I especially loved a lot of like category 3, Hong Kong films, which were the unrated ones, and they just let anything happen. And so I had sadly a bootleg collection of about 400 or 500 Hong Kong action films. There was a place near me in New York, but it was because I couldn't get them myself. So I did pay money for them. They were expensive. But yeah, I see some of my favorite movies here. I mean, this is a Kung Fu Hustle, Crazy Kung Fu here.
Yeah,
Kung Fu Hustle is, to me, a complete and utter masterpiece. It might be the most perfect film ever made by a filmmaker named Stephen Chow out of Hong Kong. It is slapstick, it's comedy, it's dramatic, it's emotional, it's moving, and really some of the most lovely action sequences of all time outside of Spider-Verse. It's really fantastic. Then we have Villainess here. Villainess is by my friend director Jay.
They're close now. This is a Korean director.
And the reason I'm friends with him is because I had to befriend him because I rip him off so much. So he shoots action unlike anybody else. He created a whole new style of shooting action when he made this movie, which was it wasn't that long ago. It was just a few years old. And if you see my movies, it's taking a lot of stuff director Jay does. If you wonder why my action is so much better from the Suicide Squad and Guardians 3 and Superman, it's because of what I learned from director Jay, who's incredible.
And is it true that particularly before each shoot, you show this film to your GPs and camera operators, like for inspiration?
Well, when I got Villainess on DVD, I think I watched it and then I instantly watched it again. And I showed it to Henry Bram, my camera operator, and then we show it my DP and camera operator, and we show it to all our other camera operators. There's a certain thing that director Jay does with the way that he uses a lot of times smaller cameras. We have small camera rigs where we can move close to the camera and then around, and then constantly circling and moving around. I really like the way he shoots action. What you got? Godzilla -1 is one of my favorite movies from the past couple of years. And that's just very simply because of the mix of really treating these human beings like human beings while taking an iconic character like Godzilla. It was something I actually thought of while I was making Superman, because it's not so dissimilar from that. It's taking this iconic character but really treating all these people with dignity and making the most important story the human story. I think it's a beautiful movie.
And where does your fascination for kaiju come from?
Oh, I just like monsters. I like giant monsters. I like little monsters. I like tiny monsters. I've always liked monsters. I started out loving Universal horror films as a little kid, not because they were horror movies. I don't really care about horror that much. What I like are monsters. So I like watching Frankenstein. I really like Frankenstein, not to the people he was murdering, I guess.
On your left, maybe I pick Ozu movie, because I think it's a really important director for you.
Yeah. Well, Ozu is an important director because my dog's named after Ozu. Ozu is known for his contemplative, meditative films that are very serene, and my dog is not that. I was hoping perhaps that this name would give him a sense of calmness, but I should have named him Mickey, because that would have been much more appropriate. Oh my God. Honest to God, I forget. That's speaking of which.
今までに映画とかテレビの仕事は
何度かそういうお話はありましたけど、まだやったことはありません。
One of my favorite movies of all time, Audition. He's made, McKay has made many movies. Many of them are very different from each other. Many of them are very extreme. And there's a lot of really good ones. But I think Audition's probably my favorite. Old Boy is another South Korean film that I love a lot.
This is also a thing where it's like,
probably the most famous film of these films here. John Woo, of course. That was one of the guys who made me, I think, initially fall in love with Hong Kong cinema, was seeing The Killer and Hard Boiled. Those were some of the first ones. Got so many great directors here. And then I also saw another one of my favorites, Herzog here. There's Rescue Dawn. That's a very underrated movie. If people want to see a good war movie.
The jungle is the prison. Don't you get it?
cool.
Hey, when does the rainy season start?
5 months, maybe 6.
Oh,
I can't wait that long.
When I was doing the Suicide Squad, I watched every good war movie that I could remember, and Rescue Dawn was one of those that really held up, that I really love. He's made a lot of great movies.
Feeling of a war movie.
And on your right, you choose also a Swedish film, I think.
Oh, it's great. So this is Together by Lukas Moodysson. Lukas Moodysson is actually one of my favorite directors. He directed this. He directed another movie that's called Fucking Amal, also known as Show Me Love, which I like just as much. It's about two high school girls who fall in love, basically, in a mall, a place that's not known for their openness, I guess. And then Together is about this film about a commune, and his sister comes, and it's all kind of post dogma stuff. It's very very grounded, very realistic, very down to earth, very naturalistic. It's so funny because you look at these different things that I like. There's Kung Fu Hustle, so stylized and big, but Together, it's almost like a documentary. I really do love both kinds of those movies, but there is something about that grounded style of cinema that really speaks to me, whether it's French New Wave or the early British realist films, or all these things that really present life as if it is life itself. And Moodyson's maybe the best at that. Oh, I love Flow. Flow's a beautiful movie. That's a beautiful film. Companion's a movie I really like a lot from last year. It's one of my favorite movies.
That's pretty good.
Well, this Paddington I haven't seen, but Paddington 2 is a classic film. It's one of the greatest movies ever made.
Paddington! Oh no! Paddington! No! Oh,
People think that I'm being ironic when I say that. I am not. I am absolutely telling the truth. Okay, well, this is quite possibly my favorite movie of all time, The Long Goodbye.
I really need a ride.
Where do you want me to take it?
Tijuana.
Tijuana? Tijuana now?
Now.
A Robert Altman film starring Elliot Gould based on the Chandler novel, but in a very modern way. It's in the 70s. Oh boy, the way Altman shoots this movie is like nothing else. It really is a lot like Moodysson, but so controlled and so beautiful, and yet also very handheld and grounded. And it's just a beautiful movie about an alienated guy. What else do we have here? Many movies I like.
So overall, that's pretty cool. People say that, oh, James Gunn doesn't know about filmmaking. He doesn't know what to do when it comes to movies, scripts, and all that stuff. That was only like 10 minutes of a 30-minute video, and constantly talking about him liking the art of filmmaking. It's interesting overall, but yeah. So what else do you want to talk about? Like the stream's not doing that well. So the Paramount overall has its benefits. I understand getting the weakness for one side become a strength on the other side, so on and so forth. Oh, hi. Hi. Yeah, so I think you missed quite a few stuff, but all I was pretty much saying was comparing Paramount and Warner Brothers and what Paramount can get from Warner Brothers and what Warner Brothers can get from Paramount. The main thing is Cartonito is not really doing as well as Nick Jr. So Nick Jr. could definitely help Warner Brothers. And then a lot of Warner Brothers animation is better than Nickelodeon stuff. Nickelodeon stuff, their main draw right now is Loud House and SpongeBob, because SpongeBob they still bank on SpongeBob. But there was rumors about Paramount not really caring about Warner Bros. Games, and then Netflix kind of confirmed that they didn't really care about games. They said W Games had like zero advantages and profit wise for them. But when I saw the website, I can do this. When I saw the website, like this right here, when I saw the website, I saw that they have W Skydance Games. So it is possible that Skydance would benefit from games from WB Games and like boost up Skydance Games to do a whole Warner Bros. Skydance kind of gaming thing. But overall, it is pretty cool because TV Land will show classic sitcom stuff, and Big Bang Theory is Warner Brothers, and Friends is also this, and Showtime would benefit for HBO stuff because Showtime is Paramount's like high budget TV show stuff, and Cinemax and Showtime is very similar. So, but yeah. And also, I kind of like this right here. This is Australia's stuff for Paramount for Australia. And 5 is English, England, yeah, UK. And TCM has the country stuff, country music, and rodeos and all that stuff. So that would help Warner Brothers for those kind of stuff. And yeah, there's benefits of this, and this one has the young adult shows stuff, Pop TV, so Skydance Animation. They have this one, and also I would say Paramount Plus stuff. So they have Halo, all these Paramount Plus stuff, Tulsa King, and all that. But yeah, overall, this gives good perspective of this bar rescue and stuff like that, and Smithsonian would be good with their Discovery networks. And yes, they're gonna own all of Warner Brothers, so they're gonna have all the TV stuff too, and all that. So I'm just looking the positives of all this. But overall, this is gonna be an interesting way to handle things. But yeah, but strangely, whenever I do a second stream within the same day, like back to back from that second stream ends up doing much better than the first one. So I might end this stream, add another stream, possibly. 'Cause I've been streaming for an hour and 36 minutes for this one, and I don't want the streams to be too long, so I'm gonna end this stream and